The views and the opinions expressed by our guests are purely their own, shaped by their unique life experiences and personal biases. While we value their perspective, they do not necessarily reflect those of the boardroom or strategy. We invite listeners to engage with an open mind.
I think I'm alone mainly because there are certain values which I like to follow. Transparency, truthfulness, not the game of fear.
As a finance head of your organization, what kind of investments do you do into each technology?
That parenting is a behavioral trait. I see every generation has their own convenient way of looking at the world, scaring parents and then making them come to you for the training.
Once somebody does your course, you have a framework or a strategy to keep connected, stay connected with them, so that you keep understanding that if they're utilizing the course or
Approach is same. There is nothing changed. So 300 rupees also is high and 10,000 rupees is also high. Coaching of parents is not happening anymore. So what I would like to suggest to people that definitely you should look into this field. It's a growing field.
A lot of parents teach their next generation and they welcome them in their family business by giving them a lot of knowledge कि हमने बोल दिया हमने किया है मत करो ऐसा and when their second generation entrepreneurs fail to take that experiences.
It's a behavior, it's not a knowledge. It's not just a knowledge. Definitely this business is going to grow because parents are getting the awareness. I should not blame it to the system, but yes, it is.
But they don't resonate with the experiences because of experiences उसने लिए नहीं होते.
The way our education is designed, the way our grooming is designed over the period of time, that has caused this.
The richest man in India today, I think he is a second generation. A supercomputer scientist turned parenting coach. That's the story of my next guest at the boardroom. Meet Dinesh Nehete and his insights on parenting. How he runs a solopreneurship coaching business, what difficulties he faces, and how his values and goals are aligned in his business journey. Dinesh opens up about balancing legacy, innovation, and unseen pressures of expectations. A candid conversation wherein every second inning entrepreneur should hear. I welcome Dinesh sir. Dinesh sir, welcome to the boardroom. Sir, being from a very high-paying job in supercomputing, you were into the field of technology when there were only few people at the level and education that you had. What inspired you to get into this education after such a complex life or a complex job or a field that you are in?
Okay. Maybe a little complicated answer. Multiple facets to it. One is I like the variation. So that one thing which pulls me in a different subjects. Multiple times I have changed my field. But the main idea or the main thought behind shifting to parenting was when I was working with corporate and handling people. So people management. I face certain issues with people management. Certain kind of behaviors of people, and that time when I searched for the reason, when I studied psychology, that's where my psychology journey started actually. For people management I started studying psychology, and there I realized that there are certain problems we see it as a skill level problems, but they are not skill level problems. Okay, they are actually childhood impacts. So there are certain fears which don't allow people to take certain actions. So, for example, self-initiative is a quality which is required in the corporate life. Okay. But there are many people we see that they don't take the initiative. Right. You assign the work and they do it very well. So I tried to find out what I can do so that they get inspired to take their own chunk and do the work. That was not happening. The study told me or gave me the picture that the childhood impacts of fear of if I do it myself and if I go wrong, okay, then what will happen? Right? So that fear stops people. and it's not easy to remove that fear because it's not a logical fear they have. It's an emotional level because it's too early in the life where there is no logic built.
Correct.
So it's an emotional memory, and that emotional memory cannot be analyzed by them. So when I realized this, I thought that this is very important. Then I started talking to schools actually.
Okay.
Why don't you introduce this psychology kind of courses for teachers and all those things?
Okay.
After certain time, I realized that yeah, they have their own structure and they can't
Move out of that structure.
move out of that structure. So at one point of time, I felt that this is very much required. Somebody has to do. So
Okay.
why not me?
Okay.
And then I jumped into this.
Okay. Nice. So, you did you complete your entire job, and then after retirement you start this, or you jumped into this as soon as you realized that this is something as a mission you have to get it done?
Okay. So I'll not say I definitely was not retired. I was about 45.
Okay.
48
Quite
age now, quite early. But I was fulfilled in my career. Enough increments, enough level of challenges, enough level of teams handling, and there was no bigger aspiration for me, like to become an MD and do something and all those things. Also, when you reach to a certain level, there's a different ball game which starts. So we can say the corporate politics,
Okay.
if we have to label to it that way. And I was not interested in that.
Okay.
So that also is one of the reasons which it became easy for me to make this transition.
Okay. Okay. Right. So you said that when you get higher on the managerial hierarchy, it's beyond your subject knowledge. There's a lot of managerial and people management that is required. Isn't it contradictory that you were learning psychology, learning emotional backgrounds, and then you were not finding comfortable, or there were some reasons beyond people management in high bigger designation jobs that you didn't relate with?
I will not say that. It's basically a mindset.
Okay.
Sometimes you enjoy playing with people. Sometimes you enjoy doing things the way you want.
Okay.
Sometimes you enjoy taking people along and making things happen. So these are the different psychological aspects of industry leaders also. You will see leaders operating in different ways.
Different ways.
That different ways their own liking.
Correct.
Right? And I was not into that mode of thought process that time.
Okay.
Now I feel yes, I can handle that differently. Differently, I will say.
Okay.
But now I'm moved out. So one of the if you look at what I'm doing with parents, one of the angle to it is life coach, what they do with the CEOs, CXOs.
Correct.
So the way I am educating parents, the same psychology works for corporate level leaders also.
Correct. So exactly where you inspired me to write brand parenting, where the same logic goes on for brand managers, brand owners. You work as a solopreneur. You work you work alone. So, what kind of values or ideas you extend with your collaborators, with your vendors, with your external partners, and how difficult it is to do it alone?
Uh, I think I'm alone mainly because there are certain values which I like to follow, especially the transparency,
Okay.
especially the truthfulness, not the game of fear to be used for marketing,
Okay.
like scaring parents and then making them come to
Okay.
you for the training. So that's where I started with partnership. But
Okay.
then I had to stop that partnership because there was a conflict.
Okay.
So conflict was like to attract people, we need to play this.
Okay. So being commercial, and then that doesn't fit in your value
Correct,
system.
correct. And that's why if you look at from business perspective, I have not grown too high. Okay. There are two aspects of it. One is this aspect. The other one is most probably I started too early in parenting field. Okay. Now the awareness in the society is increasing, but when I started, there was very less awareness, and people were not ready to go for training for parenting. Okay. It was a conventional thought that is parenting required training. Okay. The parents or the grandparents say we did the parenting without any training, so why you need it? It's just a fad and all those things. But now the awareness is increasing. So, do you see? You said that you started very early, and but your current audience is young, right? They're young parents. So, how do you relate with them emotionally? How do you keep yourself relevant with every generation? I am sure that you would have been working with a lot of different age groups, maybe baby boomers, maybe millennials, maybe even Gen Zs in certain ways. So, how do you cope up with that emotional connect with them? Very different thought, maybe I'll be talking about now. See, the whole training is to make your mind open, and what we are talking about parenting is developing children with the open mind. Correct. And whatever you are talking about, the generation biases, these are basically closing yourself into certain ideas, right? So, since my training and my self training happens in the open way, I don't see anything right and wrong. I see every generation has their own convenient way of looking at the world, and that keeps me going along with them very easily. So their ideas also, I feel that that's that generation's ideas, which has their own values, and I try to look at why they carry that value. Okay. And that becomes easy for me to connect with them. So, a little different question, but an entrepreneurial question. And I know for the fact that you really connect well with each and every kind of person, irrespective of the age or gender. So, in your business environment, why couldn't that happen with a partner? So, why couldn't the same mix or the same understanding set with a partner? And I'm asking because a lot of our viewers are solopreneurs and are thinking that maybe with right partner they can grow faster, or maybe a lot of people who are in partnerships would be feeling कि अरे यार मेरा partner अगर ये नहीं होता तो maybe I would have done things a little differently or I've accelerated a little differently. So how do you see this, and why do you think that your partnership didn't work, or if it would have had to, it would have worked, but you didn't want it to? Yeah, it was only on one ground which I'm not seeing the partnership going ahead. The one ground is the marketing strategies. Nothing else. Okay. So otherwise, I'm partnering with multiple schools, multiple people into this field. Okay. And I have the collaboration programs with them. Okay. So you had some value systems, and that value systems were not aligned. So were there marketing in terms of marketing? So maybe I'm just assuming that, or just putting it कि maybe there were some value systems that you wanted to follow in the communication when it comes to marketing, which were there were disalignments or unalignments. So to deep dive, what are these few core values that you cherish and follow in your business? Yeah, so the way I look at marketing goes today is either promising too high, okay, or creating a fear, okay, right? So both of the things, if I talk about parenting, this should not be used by parents for their children. Okay, right? Correct. So that contradicts for me. Correct. Like if I use that and then I'm training parents for different things, correct, then it contradicts, and that's why I didn't want to go in that direction. Correct. Are there any challenges or fears that comes to your mind while working alone? Do you think that being a solopreneur limits you in certain ways? There are a lot basically which are having limitations. So mainly expansion. Okay. Right? It becomes too difficult for me. Handling many things alone. Though I have my CA handles most of the financial part, I don't have to do that much. Marketing, I don't do. Marketing is just word of mouth. There is no separate way, different marketing I'm doing. My marketing is basically those who attend my programs. I just invite them to talk about it.
Okay.
So if you're convinced, if you feel that you got values, please communicate to your friends and your family.
Word of mouth.
Right, word of mouth. But I request them. It's not like automatically it will happen.
Okay.
Right? So they do it.
Okay.
And that's how things work. Handling advertising is very difficult for me, not my forte. So even announcing the program, creating those banners and all comes on me, and that is time consuming. So all these challenges are there as a solopreneur.
Okay. So, as a CFO of your own organization, as a person who takes the financial decisions in your own organization, your product is a lot of value driven and emotional driven product. So, how do you price it? How do somebody like a parent price a course that you offer? So, there is for an individual, they cannot actually say कि इतना is good enough for this course. They cannot perceive it, right?
Yeah.
So how do you price your product?
Yeah. So it has actually evolved.
Okay.
So now today I look at parenting as a three different levels of training, right? Because I say that parenting is a behavioral training. It's a behavior. It's not a knowledge. It's not just a knowledge.
Right.
So I have certain courses. I call them as seminars. Seminars is one way. I'll talk, you listen.
Correct.
Which is completely as a knowledge-based course. So you come to know about children, your own thought process and all through that knowledge seminars. And I consider it as which is commonly available knowledge. I just aggregated it at one place and I'm giving it to them. So I price it very low.
Okay.
And also I use that income to conduct such courses for economically low class therapy school parents, I will say, a simple word. The second part which is there is more of experiential work, more of a mindset building course. That's where I see as a value or a core value from my side. And that I rate little high, but again, it's not like there is some logic to decide how much I should charge.
Okay.
I just see that I put more efforts in that. I have one-on-one work, a lot of one-on-one work with every parent, and based on that, I price it. And the third is the practice sessions,
Okay.
because behaviors cannot be just taught and can be built. So there are practice sessions. So for that we have 1 year engagement, 11 months engagement, where parents practice and I coach.
Okay.
So that is again on a moderate level of pricing. Again, coaching involves efforts.
Okay.
So that's rated in between these two.
Okay.
But the highest rating I see as where I work on the mindset.
Okay. Okay. And as you said that these pricings evolved, so maybe there was certain point where you started with some pricing and then you realized that the parents are resonating with that price or they are finding great value, and then that's how pricing evolved.
Was it very funny experience, I have to say. Wherever I priced, it was high.
Okay.
So every time the parents used to say it's very high, you need to reduce something. And today I charge in thousands, more than 10,000, and still the approach is same. There is nothing changed. So 300 rupees also is high and 10,000 rupees is also high. And the same number of people
would be registered. So people would still come because they see value in the product.
Correct.
But then pricing is always.
It's very difficult for them also to get a judgment of like how much it should be priced. Because it's not something which can show as a concrete product. No?
Correct. So you don't have the ROI to calculate.
Correct. Yes, exactly.
As a finance head of your organization, what kind of investments do you do in tools, technology, and how do you calculate the returns on them? So what is the one investment that you think that you have done in your business that you see the ROI coming?
So here investments are not into physical structures anywhere, because there is no raw material required, much raw material required.
Okay.
But upgrading myself upgrading the material to be provided to the parents.
Correct.
That's where I invest. So I keep attending psychology courses, psychology seminars, workshops, those things. So that sharpening myself and modifying it in my courses basically accordingly.
Okay. So, your maybe your finance self would rather invest in yourself in delivering better courses, delivering better frameworks than anything. And
one thing I didn't do is never built a corporate look, chaka-chak look type of office which will attract parents. So I see it's more of homely feeling,
right.
And I connect it as like it's a parenting course, so they should feel it like it's a homely atmosphere than the corporate looking atmosphere.
Did that help? Do you think that's working for you?
Mostly yes, I think so.
People connect better with it. Right. Is there any personal or professional benchmark do you track that कि हाँ financially इतना मेरा target है या इतना मेरा goal है या ये मुझे करना है?
नहीं अनुष ये सब हो गया. Okay, so I would say कि I was fulfilled in my life when I moved this side. So the whole approach of this was a social work than the business. Okay. Somewhere parents need this kind of thing. The next generation need this kind of understanding much, and it's impacting society because building child is a very important aspect. I considered as a parent's role is giving the right kind of element to the society, right? And it's a society development. It's not only parenting.
Correct.
And with that thought, I never looked at this as a financially growing business. I'm more of my vision is number of people to get this course is more important than the income which I get out of it.
But as an entrepreneur, don't you think that if your business is financially more enriched or financially more rich, you could reach better, more, you could contribute more to the society?
Yeah, as an entrepreneur, whether should I call myself as entrepreneur or not is a question.
You're a sociopreneur.
Even in that, basically, I should be inspiring people to start conducting such courses.
Correct.
So spreading this more, and that I am doing.
Okay.
So wherever some counselor or some psychologist attend this course or pediatrician attend this course, so that time I try to inspire them to do more in their field also.
So doesn't your sales head in your mind and the finance head in your mind encourage you to give some kind of franchisees or some kind of distribution network within your organization?
Unfortunately, no till now. Yes, but I think that should happen.
So, moving to the next role that you would generally play as a entrepreneur, you are your organization's chief HR officer. Being a solopreneur, you don't have an employee force or as such. But and while starting our discussion, you said that you were in a managerial role, you were in a people management role, where your journey started. Correct. So, how do you see yourself while growing your organization? See yourself as a people's manager or an person who would be able to lead the team so that to job जिस मिशन के लिए आप लिख रहे हो वो मिशन better wider spread
हो. Current thought process. In past, I was looking for this kind of thing, but current thought process is let people get inspired and start such cells in different locations.
Okay.
Is what I think that people should take a motivation from me and start similar courses at different locations.
Okay.
Then me growing and developing the network.
Okay.
Right. And certain things I see is happening. Like there is a person in Lasselgaon who has started for his coaching sessions.
On your frameworks.
On the framework, yes. Nasik, there is a group which is now into action, so they may start the similar.
So can we use this podcast to appeal to people who are willing to dedicate their life, careers to parenting,
Definitely.
approach to you?
Definitely, yes.
Understand.
So I am happy. Maybe in last 2-3 days, I was thinking of doing this certification courses for parenting.
Okay.
So people can come learn for 1 year.
Okay.
Practice it well, and then start their own.
Okay.
And can come to me for guidance in between.
Okay. So one question that comes up to mind: does your finance self tells you or argues in your mind that there should be some commercial around it, there should be some model around it which would be good for your business?
I am not sure whether I should say it as an entrepreneur or as a business person, but I feel so fulfilled about financial thing that I never get that kick to earn more from
Okay.
business.
Okay, so as a solopreneur, you are also the chief operating officer of your organization, and as you said that आपको एक पार्टनर की जरूरत तभी महसूस होती है जब सारा काम आप खुद कर रहे होते हो तो आप कैसे स्ट्रक्चर करते हो, आप कैसे ये सेशंस को डिलीवर करते हो? आप जब उसका मार्केटिंग कर रहे हो, सेल्स कर रहे हो, फिर खुद ही डिलीवर कर रहे हो, खुद ही फीडबैक ले रहे हो, तो एज एन ऑपरेशनल हेड ऑफ योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, how do you manage all this? Are there any structures, formats, frameworks, SOPs that you have drafted and then that you follow?
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है.
Okay.
Structure there. Most probably it's just an emotional play.
Okay.
So I keep in touch with the parents in between. I keep them calling.
Okay.
नए लोगों को मैं कॉल नहीं करता हूँ. So even if people inquire, I have a WhatsApp group. I say that you be a part of that group and you will get to know about what is happening next. But there is no follow-up to anybody that you should come. So the typical framework of growing business, I think I'm not there.
Okay. But what I can tell you, and there's a very great learning for our viewers also here, that you're still able to do it very successfully. So you're still getting the inquiries, the batches are always full. So the best marketing is starts with one P that we say there are 4 P's and 1 P, which is product. So your product is so good and it is priced in a way where the value of that product is seen to be delivered, right? It gets observed, and that's why you get the references and you get the leads, and people keep coming back to you, and that's a personal experience that I have understood. So I relate very well with that.
So if I were to add into this as an experience of mine, any person does my course, at least 2 members of his family will do the next.
Correct.
Next 2 members will do the rest.
Correct. So that's the power of a good product. So I keep telling people that your marketing is as good as your product. If your product is good, your marketing would resonate. If your product itself is not good, whatsoever the marketing is done, eventually people would understand that there's no value in that. So while doing a lot of work yourself as an operational head of your organization, what's the methodologies or what's the process to keep improving? So how do you make sure that every experience, every course, every session that you take, the next session is a little better of it?
I keep on thinking about this. So basically my focus is how they experience when they are connected with me, when they come for the classes, when they come to meet me in between, and that experience has to be a warm experience. There is somebody with me available for any kind of difficulties which I'll face. So that kind of experience they should get is what is my focus. I don't know whether I should say it that way or not, but more of a hospitality type of experience, like
correct, a service,
closeness, service,
a service,
closeness, yes.
So good that your entrepreneurs have understood that you are more into a service industry where client servicing, customer servicing is very important. As an operational head, and do you see yourself using certain techniques or frameworks in better engaging with your customers, better giving them a better experience?
More of an experience, I'll say, see, whole of this course is connected to how much they practice in their life.
Yes.
And for them to practice, yes, I have frameworks.
Okay.
So that they get the structure to practice in their life, and more they practice, easy for them to work with their children.
Okay. So, when somebody does your course, you have a framework or a strategy to keep connected, stay connected with them, so that you keep understanding that if they're utilizing the course. Or have there been any cases where you have realized that a certain parent or a certain customer of yours, because we're talking about entrepreneurship, I say it as customers of yours, couldn't relate with the course, or couldn't understand, or couldn't comprehend it in their own way, and where you decided that okay, the person has, the value has not been exchanged, so maybe refund, or maybe give them extra time or something. Does that happen?
No, that has not happened. So nobody has gone up to that level of disconnect.
Okay.
But yes, what you say is there. There are certain people who come up with a very strong thought process, strong belief systems, and for them to connect with this new way of handling parenting, it becomes difficult. So sometimes there are people who do this course and then they are not connected with me.
Okay.
So that has happened. But it's a very small number.
Right.
But yes, it is not like no, it is. There are.
So, how do, so you said that most of your business comes from reference. So, beyond your network, if somebody wants to get connected with you, or somebody, a parent, a early parent, or maybe a grandparent who wants their new parent kids to join your course, how do they know about you? From where do they?
That happens. One is I have my presence on website is there.
Okay.
Then Insta account is there where we keep on posting our experiences.
Okay.
Then I have collaborations with schools, and recently I worked a lot with a children's magazine called Chikubiku.
Okay.
And they have a good reach around.
Okay.
So I am conducting courses for them. I am giving some expert talks with them.
Okay.
So that is so you have access to people who are not directly connected to me to connect with me.
So beyond references, you have other channels also. So you have digital as a channel, and you have also collaborations as a channel from where you keep getting reach. Okay. So what's the positioning that you positioning of your brand or yourself? How do you position your brand yourself as a thought leader in this space? So in terms of positioning, how do we see, do people, your customers, see you as a coach, as a consultant, as an expert, as a service provider? How do you position yourself? And do you think that that positioning is right and you relate with it, or you wanted something else? But
okay. So if I look at it, it's more of a expert in the field and the coach. In that, the additional element is someone who is with me, kind of. Right? So they feel that there is a person who stands with me. Right? So that's the positioning which happens. And I think yes, that's what I want.
Okay, that's what you want. As a marketer of your own, as a marketing head of your organization, and as a person who doesn't feel the urge of scaling, right? Because I think you are on the in the entrepreneurship journey, you are on that level where growing doesn't matter much, or scaling in terms of financial scaling, or turnover scaling, it doesn't matter much. What drives you to keep going when things are not going right. So, for example, now that you know that people are relating with your products, they are getting connected. But are there occasions where maybe you have declared a batch, but maybe of certain reasons, certain contextual reasons, आपका batch जितना आपको required है उतना आपको उतना audience नहीं मिला, and then how does it still keep you motivated to still going, to still doing your work? I understand your orientation is more of social support of social awareness in this field, but in business point of view, what makes you keep going?
I don't know business point of view, but the emotional point of view, I should say. The we always say that it's the width and the depth.
Right.
So the depth keeps me moving.
Okay.
People getting the benefit and the family getting transformed, that keeps me moving. So whoever comes to me and I feel that the family itself is now transformed completely and they feel happy and comfortable with children and each other, and that feedback which comes to me, that keeps me moving. So less but in depth development.
So, if any young entrepreneur is watching it and he wants to get into a similar field, is that the attitude that you have would work for them, or they would have to see it a little commercially?
Not necessarily they should be with my view. I think they can see it commercially because I would say even if 30% impact happens with parents for dealing with children, if the effectiveness is say 30%, not 80-90%, and it is on masses, that itself will make a huge impact on the society. So if people are of that thought process of the not in depth but more and more width, then they should think that way. And I have no what do you say contradictory thought about it. It's their way of looking at business.
So, wasn't your partner right?
No, as I said, it was not related to that. It was more of how you attract people.
Okay.
And that's where I say no. It's the approach you have about parenting, how it should be,
Okay.
and the way you are showing your face
Okay.
as a completely contradictory to that.
So, when you would want young entrepreneurs or people who are interested in this field to jump in, would you want them, or would you like to have an ethical framework around how they are going to market this product?
So I'm not talking about ethical, unethical.
Okay.
I'm talking about inducing fear
Okay.
and trying to build fearless.
Okay. Okay.
Is a contradiction.
Okay. Yes. Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So don't induce fear.
Okay.
Say that this will develop. Don't show up too much of
Yes, and
ideal situation like will make your children superstars.
Okay.
That's not going to happen.
Hmm.
Right? So yes, they will be better. And parents should come with that aspiration that my child will be better, not the superstar. Because that superstar also creates another fear that if not.
Correct.
And then what happens is not the right parenting. This was my point of
Correct. So, okay, so not ethical as such, but would there be a best practices framework or maybe a system or an SOP that you would design to give to your counterparts or maybe your next generation entrepreneurs who would come into this field getting inspired with your work?
Maybe a few points, not as a complete framework as such, but few points they should not deviate with. So, okay, let me tell you a simple way to understand this. The psychology works that you can get work done by introducing fear, but that damages the personality. Right? So as that person grows, in the childhood, if you introduce fear and get things done, you can create a very obedient and nice child. But with that psychology, when that person grows, after that he cannot face the difficult scenarios or fearful scenarios, right? Because he has an inherent fear inside him. So introducing fear and getting things done is not a good practice for parenting. And that's where I'm saying, yeah, you build children fearless. You build children more open to receive anything in the world, all changes. Because changes are going to be there, cultural changes are going to be there, the working practices are going to be changed, and I don't think there is an ethical practice as such in the working environment. What we call ethical is good for everybody, right? And that good for everybody is more practical than ethical, is what I say.
Correct. Correct. So, and you want to use that ideologies in your parenting style or your parenting format into your marketing also, so that it is relevant. So it is like what you say is what you do, right? What you so, and that's why your marketing ideas. So, and I agree with it. But then, if not through fear, if not through provocation, how do you see parenting coach or parenting
Reach to people.
reach to people or
Creating awareness.
creating the right awareness?
Right awareness, yes. So parents should understand that this is the way to groom your child. They should get that clarity, and that's why they should come to this side.
Doesn't doesn't it become a very difficult emotion to connect with? So if as a consumer, if somebody makes me frightened, I would be rather faster to understand, right? And somebody explains me the benefits of it and things. So isn't it very difficult to get converted once, or it isn't a long process for conversion?
That's what I said, that the business ideas will have a contradiction for me because I have one thought process may not be a right thing for the world to look at, but we are unnecessarily giving importance to speed and growth. I think the world to move well, speed and growth is not the only criteria. There are many other things which can work, but business, education, growth, all this is getting connected to speed. And that is damaging quite a lot of things.
So I don't know if you know this, but I learned this from you, and that's what I've written in my book also. That to make brands, it's not important how fast you grow. It's important how much depth is there in your business, in your value systems, in your and I relate very much with what you do. But for young entrepreneurs who are seeing this, they might feel that अगर बिजनेस बड़ा करना है तो हमको टर्नओवर बड़ा करना पड़ेगा, बिजनेस को स्केलेबल मॉडल बनाना पड़ेगा. बट इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू इवन अंडरस्टैंड दैट while even to make it big or make it scalable, is it aligned with the value system that you started with in the first case? So if it is not aligned or it disaligns with the value system, then the business will have no personality, and then it shapes the core idea of the business. So I very much related with your stuff. Sir, what we discussed about your platforms. You told us that you use in digital presence like website, Instagram. We also learned about you using collaborations to get references. Do you have a framework, or do you have a list of channels or networks which you use or for marketing and sales? No. So you are more of an organic entrepreneur. What comes along, if it relates with your value system, you work. Has it worked for you?
Yeah, if you put into the growth format, no.
Okay.
If you put it into have I moved ahead, yes.
So when you started, when you left your job, when you thought that we'll get it, were there any numbers that I would impact these many parents or these many?
Yeah, it was. I started with a lot of thoughts like that.
Okay.
And then no, I didn't reach that.
I have not reached that. How close are you for that?
Much behind.
Much behind. So, do you?
Maybe I came out of the corporate world, so that time the numbers were running on my mind quite a lot. And slowly I moved out of that speed kind of thing.
Considering the corporate self in you, what say if you have to rate from 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the maximum, how much corporate self, how much corporatism or capitalism has left in you, or your core into social?
No, still, I'm not completely social still. Yeah, maybe 50%, less than 50%.
Yeah, 50%. So, don't you think that for enriched learning as a business, uh, somebody who aligns with your value system and not disconnects with it, but still see how commercially enriched learning can grow, would be better for the vision and the mission that you have to make it reach to more and more people?
Definitely, yes. Yes. There are many other marketing practices people can bring in with me than avoiding certain practices, and we can collaborate definitely. And it will bring in a lot of value. So I'm actually looking forward for throughout my journey that kind of marketing partner.
Okay. Given, say for example, given a budget of 5 lakh rupees to spend in a month for marketing, what would be your go-to channels or go-to things that you would be doing?
I think what will work better with the experiences. If I connect with the schools running similar philosophy,
Okay.
and through schools, if we conduct these programs, that will be the good growth.
Okay. So you reach out to the source where you are,
Where the parents are automatically
already there. So you reach
naturally
the
connected.
marketplaces where the market is already there and you reach out there. And how do you think?
And that I'm very confident that will be very beneficial to the schools also.
Okay.
Because children become more disciplined, more organized, more calm with this parenting approach. So if the parents' approach is changed, if the parents' behavior is changed, the children are automatically more organized.
Have you taken any efforts around this?
Uh, in the sense,
In the sense,
yes,
have you
in
tried
the
with
school,
schools?
yes, yes. One or two places I was about to start collaboration, and for some different reason it
Okay.
stopped.
Okay.
Basically, the authority who was connected with me left the school.
Okay.
That kind of this thing, or school had a different priority, suddenly shifted. And
were there cases where school rejected outright or couldn't?
no, not a single place.
Not a single case.
The rejection is not there, but closed doors is always there. The
Okay.
doors are closed.
Okay.
So for any external such kind of coaches.
Okay. Okay. So schools would rather do it in-house as as a part of their curriculum rather than taking an external partner.
Is what they say, but I don't see that there it's happening there. Like coaching of parents is not happening anywhere.
Okay.
Feedback to parents is there, but after giving a feedback, what they should do or handholding, that's not happening.
Okay.
So I think with the change of society in the sense parents were having coaching inside the house or inside the small community as a close communities which were there earlier. That structure is missing. So I think school need to school need to build this kind of structure for parents, or somewhere there has to be a structure for parents where they get the good coaching.
Okay. Okay. Sir, you inspired me to write a book on brand parenting. So I did your parenting workshop and I realized that what you have taught me, I associate that with a lot of my CEOs and business owners, and I see what mistakes you or what learning values that you had for a parent. I thought the same learning values can be learned by brand owners and they can help grow their brands. So, do you think me in my case for my grandparents and for you in your case for parents, real parents, do you think people actually do this in practical world?
I'm sorry, I didn't get you.
I'm saying that in this environment of competition, in this environment of getting ahead, in this environment.
Got it. Yeah. So your question is, will people follow this?
Correct.
No, at this point of time, very less number of people get this point. Others are mentally conditioned to run in the race. They can't see it up. It's like in the childhood, we had a story told to us that there was a rabbit who was walking in the jungle, and suddenly something falls on him and he starts running with the fear, saying that the sky is falling, sky is falling. So I see most of the people into that, because as the rabbit says sky is falling, the fox is also running, the elephant is also running, everybody is running, the sky is falling. Nobody is ready to wait, look back and see is really sky is falling. Right? So we are into that kind of condition of speed and growth. Right. So we are not analyzing it. Is it really there? Correct. For this, in my courses, I keep on giving this example. There are people in the industry where you see that they are not running in the race. They are very calmly doing their work and still they are successful. Correct. So one of the person which I looked at it like this is Amir Khan. He produced many films. He had no pressure of making multiple films when other colleagues are really striving for more signing number of films. Right. And he was successful. Right. So this is a false picture that we are in the race. Also, for parents, I should say, we are pushing children into same stream, creating a clog, the bottleneck, and then we are saying the competition. Yeah. But there are multiple channels. You allow your children to look at what they want to do and what kind of opportunities are there, and they will see that there are no competition. There are areas where there are no people, and they can do a very good career in that area.
So, in business point of view, we tell our entrepreneurs, or we keep listening this terminology called "find your niche, find your differentiator." Yeah. So, do you think that's what you're saying? Yeah. In parenting?
So yeah, I'm saying that world has a lot of opportunities. Allow your children to explore.
Okay. So every kid is different, and maybe there is something that is
available for the child.
How do you see parents identifying the differentiator or niche so that they can make sure that they're not running the competition race?
How will they find out is what you're saying, right?
Correct.
So okay, example is something like this. If you go to ice cream parlor and if you want to know what flavor you like most, I need to taste all of them.
Correct.
Without that, I cannot say this is the
one I
like. Correct. So same way, what children want to do. If you want to find out what your child wants to do, really wants to do, you need to give him an opportunity to try multiple things. Than forcing him to get into something out of 5 or 6. Right? So that's where the point comes. And when you're spending on so much on admitting to a good school, why not spend that much amount for child to explore what he or she wants to do?
So giving exposure to multidisciplinary activities or
correct, exactly.
And then to identify with. Sir, business में difficult नहीं है कि as a business owner मैं अपने आप को हर चीज में ट्राई करूं और फिर देखूं कि मैं किसमें सही हूं. बिजनेस ओनर्स के लिए ऐसा रहता है कि
so what you are saying is one is the survival part and one is what do you say
flourishing part.
Correct. So you need to make your survival safe and then try to explore.
Okay.
So safe survival is a minimalistic approach. Right. Your survival should not keep on growing at the higher and higher level. Means you are earning enough and still you feel that I am not surviving because some other business is doing better than me. Right? So you define your survival level.
Correct.
Remove your survival fear and now start exploring.
Correct.
You raised in between that question about young entrepreneurs getting into parenting kind of business. So what I would like to suggest to people, that definitely you should look into this field. It's a growing field. Definitely this business is going to grow because parents are getting the awareness. It's required mainly because if you look at the cultural shift which we had joint families, we had the cultural structure where we used to stay in chal or wada or gully, where multiple families were very neatly connected, closely connected, and parenting was not an individual job at that time. It was a shared work. Like multiple relatives, like Masi, Atya, they used to hold the child and groom the child. Like it's not only father and mother used to work on that. Similarly, in the next level, the close community, the close society used to handle the child. Today, it is a job of one person, one or two person, and that's why it's becoming difficult, and that's why coaching is very very much required. So it's a field, get into it, but don't only commercialize it. Give the core value where parents will be able to work better and groom the children in a better way.
Yeah. Nice. Sir, if you had to take top two or three learnings from your way of teaching parents and related with business as जो मैंने मेरे बुक में किया है आपके हिसाब से वो टॉप टू थ्री लर्निंग्स क्या होंगी जो एक सिमिलर पैटर्न्स होंगे या सिमिलर फ्रेमवर्क्स होंगे फॉर अ पेरेंट ऑफ अ चाइल्ड एंड अ पेरेंट ऑफ अ ब्रांड
Okay, so one is when you are growing as an adult, whatever experiences you have gained, you consider them as the right thing. You get stuck into your thought process. So same thing when you grow in the business or in your life, what do you say?
As an entrepreneur, maybe.
As an entrepreneur or as a service life.
Correct.
Service in the sense job.
Yeah, job, right. Correct.
Whatever experiences you have gained, with that you think that that's what is right.
Correct. That's the reality of the world.
That's the reality of the life you think. So you need to create your open mind which says that the youngsters, when they look at the world in a different way, they also have some different view, and that might be right.
Correct.
Right? So again, as we said, take a pause and think about it.
Correct.
So that's one thing I see. I see entrepreneurs also learning should happen. Second is the survival emotional memories. Right? Those are hindrances in our growth pattern. They stop us taking steps, taking bold steps.
Correct.
So entrepreneurs need to look at like what scares me and why it scares me.
Okay.
And just get out of that fear. Okay. Once you out of that fear, you can take the next bold step.
Bold step. Okay. But sir, isn't there are certain inherent fears in the business like fear of losing out of leads, fear of losing out of finance, fear of losing out of references, or fear of losing a very high potential employee and not finding the right replacement. These are real fears. So how do you see a parent, a grandparent getting out of it? What framework do you think would work there?
Okay. Coming to psychology part. So when you say fear is actually a cognitive process. In English, there are two words. One is emotion and other is fear. So emotion is something happens bodily. So when you fall from a height, certain things happen in your body. You sit in a giant wheel and you speedily come down. So that time you experience that. That's called as emotion. Right? If this happen, what will happen to me? And all that, which is a cognitive process on that. Okay, that is fear.
The rational thinking over your emotion is fear.
I'm not saying rational thinking, I'm saying thinking.
Thinking. Okay.
Thinking over the emotions is a fear.
Okay.
And emotions come and go.
Correct.
Fear is a cognitive process which elongates your emotions.
Okay.
Right? So that feeling part is basically a cognitive process. So your fears are based on your thought processes. Right? So whatever you say as realistic fears, they are there because around you people talk about that way, and you perceive it that way cognitively, and that's why you fear.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So if you work on that cognition, then you can get rid of those fears. So again, the same example: why that actor or that director or that producer didn't feel that fear that I should have multiple movies in my hand, otherwise how will I survive?
Correct.
Because his cognitive process was not talking about that. He was talking about unless I produce a quality film, it's not worth producing a film.
Being an entrepreneur and doing the similar stuff in your business, do you think that brands that become brands uh, are able to relate or resonate really well with their audiences because they have mastered this art of not letting fears stop their decision making process or stop the way they do
I
business.
have many feedback from parents who have undergone this training for parenting and doing good in their work.
Okay.
Because they have come out of this fear of a boss, fear of my feedback, my appraisal, and all those things. So, many cases who let me know that, sir, this has helped me in my
Business or my career
work life,
or
yes.
my work life. Okay, so why don't we see this framework? We hear this framework much in while learning in academics or maybe while getting trained in corporate environment.
I think that is the. I should not blame it to the system, but yes, it is. The way our education is designed, the way our grooming is designed over the period of time, that has caused this. Like we started running behind numbers, marks, uh, and started forgetting about the core learning of the human being. So we learn subject, but we don't learn how to learn.
Okay, correct.
Learn to learn is a process which is there in the human development.
Correct.
Learn to use your body effectively is a process
Correct.
which is missing in the education system, like a developmental system, where we are saying that allow children to take experience. Activity-based learning, experience-based learning are the words which are now commonly used.
Correct.
That's what is required, which was missing in between. In
Correct.
between, we were looking at like read the books and you learn.
Correct.
Read the books is not learning.
Memorizing was
So
more.
human development is experiential.
Correct.
Whatever we are talking about, emotional part. So EQ cannot be developed sitting in the classroom.
Correct.
EQ development happens with experiences, wide range of experiences. So children play with each other, have conflict in opinion, have conflict in physical actions. They face with each other, and that's where the emotional development happens. They know how to manage our emotions, how to step back, how to go aggressively, how to handle the situation. All that is non-linguistic learning. Non-linguistic learning is something I say is, if you know how to ride a bicycle, explain me how you balance on the bicycle.
Okay.
Right? So balancing on the bicycle is not a logical method. It's an experiential.
Correct.
So this experiential learning needs some environment to build up.
Correct.
And that's somewhere we lost in between in the education system. And that's why we are suffering with these things now. So that need to be brought back.
Right. Right. When I hear this, I relate a lot with my second generation entrepreneurs. A lot of parents teach their next generation and they welcome them in their family business by giving them a lot of knowledge कि हमें बोलिए हमने किया है मत करो ऐसा and where their second generation entrepreneurs fail to take that experiences and they feel the success of the business is their success and they resonate with the success but they don't resonate with the experiences because of experiences उन्हें लिए नहीं होते तो मैं काफ़ी और ये जो सेकंड जनरेशन बिजनेसेस जो होते हैं एकेडमिकली हम अच्छे डिग्रीज लेके आ जाते हैं हमने आईवी लीग से भी पढ़ाई करके आ गए सब आ गए बट कहीं ना कहीं वो जो एक्सपीरियंस एक लर्निंग एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट करना होता है वो नहीं क्रिएट हो पाता है बिकॉज they have not they are on the boss's chair immediately and then they struggle.
Yeah. So, but I have seen certain entrepreneurs, certain business heads, business moves. For next generation, they didn't give the silver spoon in their child's mouth.
Correct. They made them learn.
They make them.
They made them.
Those people are more successful.
Those generations are more successful. The richest man in India today, I think he is a second generation and we can see him doing things differently, things experimenting with things, maybe things which his father would have not done and being successful. And similarly in politics, we see a lot of politicians doing things differently, maybe not aligned with their father's philosophy or maybe their legacy, and doing things differently and then getting success, or maybe failures also, but doing things differently can also. Sir, let's move to a section where we do rapid fire.
Oh, okay.
I'll ask you a few questions and
Okay.
I'll ask you questions and maybe you could answer them as first thing that comes in your mind. Okay. Books or movies?
Books.
Books. Blackboard or whiteboard?
Oh. Don't know.
Writing with a chalk or a marker?
So, I have no priorities.
No priority. Okay. One parenting myth that you would burst in a second. One myth.
It's a myth.
Parenting is a myth.
Oh.
One parenting myth that you would think that it's.
Oh, it makes you burst, is what you're saying. There's like child is like that. That's a swabhav, it's a style.
Okay. So you typecast a child and then. Okay. One word your students' parents use to describe you.
A support.
Support.
A person to reach to.
Reach to. What's most important, growth or impact?
Impact.
Impact. Yeah. While teaching, online sessions or offline session?
Always offline session.
One question kids ask you that's relate with the adults most, or they complain about adults.
They don't listen, they don't give time, is what is the most.
Parents don't listen, parents don't give time. Okay. One thing that as a person you are still developing a skill into, so one skill that you're still developing or learning.
Still coming down.
अच्छा still अब जितना काम हो उससे और क्या काम हो सकते हैं. Nice. Thank you, sir, for being at the podcast. You have been a great mentor and a coach for me also, and a lot of learning. I always have been and telling you that we should see your business more commercially, because making it more commercial will make it more self-sustainable and maybe it would reach out to more people. So
yeah, so definitely it's a good exposure to me also today. It's a different kind of comparison which is happening. And your last point is very important. I also want to see this to grow. The younger generations to come, they take and they spread it more.